Hi everyone, it's time for story time from the Taylor Public Library. Our theme this week is bugs. But first, you know what to do. I wiggle my fingers, I wiggle my toes, I wiggle my shoulders, I wiggle my nose. And now the wiggles are out of me and I'm as still as I can be. Our first story is called The Ant and the Grasshopper by Rebecca and Ed Emberley. Somewhere on the boulevard of backyards, an ant was struggling with the remnants of a picnic. The work was hard and she was weary. With a heavy sigh, she persevered, though each blade of grass seemed to thwart her on this hot and humid day. I simply cannot go another step, she thought to herself. As she lifted her head in hopes of the smallest of breezes to cool her blistering forehead, she heard a sound, a wonderful, magical sound, music. With a great heave, she shouldered her sticky burden and moved in the direction of the sound. She came upon a grasshopper and his buggy band making music with complete abandon. The ant had never heard such joyful music. She smiled, which on an ant can look a little strange, and listened to the music, her antennae twitching to the beat. The weariness seemed to leave her little ant body with every note they played. When the music stopped, the grasshopper called to her, "Hey there, baby, why don't you put down that big sticky thing and come groove with us?" "I wish I could," said the ant, already feeling a little guilty for stopping for such a long time. "But I must get this back to the colony. My family will be waiting for me." Hoisting her load a little higher, she said, "Thank you for your beautiful noise. It has made my heart much lighter." The band clickety-clicked and chirruped. They were so happy to have an audience. The grasshopper hit an F chord. "We will play for you then, all the way back to your colony." Turning to his bandmates, he rasped, "Put on your walking shoes, we're hitting the road." The band was all abuzz. The beetle was especially excited as he was the newest member of the band and had never been on the road before. The ant was home in no time, hardly noticing the heat or the heaviness of her load. "You have made my job so much easier," she said. "Your magical music moved me along. How can I ever repay you?" The grasshopper thought for a moment. "Well, baby, our music might be red hot, but we like to be cool. Sometimes it's hard to catch a break out there on the boulevard." The ant smiled her funky little smile. "It's cool under the ground in our colony. Please come and share your music and we'll have a party. Come on, everybody, we're going underground." Let the good times roll. And the music made everything brighter. Now we have a rhyme called 5 Hungry Ants. Repeat after me. 5 hungry ants marching in a line came upon a picnic where they could dine. They marched into the salad, they marched into the cake. They marched into the pepper. Uh-oh, that was a mistake. Choo! 4 hungry ants marching in a line came upon a picnic where they could dine. They marched into the salad, they marched into the cake. They marched into the pepper. Uh-oh, that was a mistake. Choo! 3 hungry ants marching in a line came upon a picnic where they could dine. They marched into the salad, they marched into the cake. They marched into the pepper. Uh-oh, that was a mistake. Choo! 2 hungry ants marching in a line came upon a picnic where they could dine. They marched into the salad, they marched into the cake. They marched into the pepper. Uh-oh, that was a mistake. Choo! 1 hungry ant marching in a line came upon a picnic where he could dine. He marched into the salad, he marched into the cake. He marched into the pepper. Uh-oh, that was a mistake. Choo! Our next story is called Bugs by David T. Greenberg, illustrated by Lynn Musinger. This one gives me the heebie-jeebies just a little bit. Beetles, bedbugs, bottle flies, tarantulas the size of pies, with lots and lots and lots of eyes, staring at you, bugs. A million maggots in a vase, lice as thick as mayonnaise, a horsefly that's so huge it neighs, glaring at you, bugs. Bugs with pincers, claws, and hair, bugs much fiercer than a bear, buggies in your underwear, tearing at you, bugs. Oh, in your clothes they're restin', in your nose they are a nestin', there isn't any question, they're infestin' your intestine. Yep, loathe them or adore bugs. There's no way to ignore bugs, so even if you hate them, why not investigate them? Now you may have a hunch, if you bite bugs they will crunch. This is true, but stay alert, the fat ones sometimes squirt. Perhaps your intuition about those spit bugs you've been squishin' is they're useless. That ain't true. They're great to barbecue. But bugs have far more uses than for barbecues or juices. You can do such nifty tricks with tsetse flies, 2 ticks. So grab a garden spider, saddle her and ride her, yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yo, rope her at the rodeo. Rare beyond compare is caterpillar hair. Take a tweezers, yank it, weave yourself a blanket, or you know what's even better, a caterpillar sweater. There's a microscopic udder that you'll find on female fleas. You can milk them and make butter, or the most delicious cheese. Teach your centipede to fetch, teach her to play dead, teach her to go potty in your mom and daddy's bed. A scorpion in a string bikini, a tick wearing only a hat, a tuxedo on a teeny weeny, itsy bitsy giant gnat. Try millipedes for dental floss, feel them scrape away the moss, drop one down your sister's pants, watch her do the boogie dance. I don't recommend that. Incandescent fireflies, dragonflies, and bees, string them all together to light up Christmas trees. Wrapped in cast from head to toe, your brother cannot scratch. Drop termite larvae down the crack, he'll love it when they hatch. The flavor of a cricket is so sweet that you can lick it. It's actually far sweeter than the flavor of a skeeter. A bracelet made of butterflies, a beetle for a brooch, an earwig for a nose ring, in your navel put a roach. Use spider webs for tissues, they're perfect trampolines. Roll them into balls and they taste like jelly beans. Strap a giant water bug underneath each toe. You can use them just like water skis or walk on H2O. Praying mantis pizza is a culinary must with lots of extra maggots and a daddy longlegs crust. The pupae of boll weevils make bodacious curly wigs. 4 phenomenal fake whiskers, love those whirligigs. Stink bugs, squish them in your fist, drop them in a pepper milk, give the crank a twist. Oh, touching a bug is so yucky to some that the thought of it makes them sweat. But bugs are truly fond of us, they'd like you as their pet. They'll train you to fetch sticks, to sit, roll over, play dead. They'll walk you on a leash, if you're good they'll scratch your head. You'll sleep at the foot of their bed, cuddle in their laps. Lick them when you're happy, nibble up their scraps. And then one day they'll polish you lovingly with wax, attach you to a wall with bubblegum and tacks. How lucky can you get? For that's where you shall stay, in their human being collection on permanent display. Have you ever been to a museum where you saw bugs like that in permanent display? It's pretty cool. Now, this one is called Flutter, Flutter, Butterfly. Try and sing along with me. Flutter, flutter, butterfly, floating in the summer sky, floating by for all to see, floating by so merrily. I'll do it again a couple more times. Flutter, flutter, butterfly, floating in the summer sky, floating by for all to see, floating by so merrily. Flutter, flutter, butterfly, floating in the summer sky, floating by for all to see, floating by so merrily. Our last story is called The LittleSqueegee Bug by Bill Martin Jr. and Michael Sampson, illustrated by Patrick Corrigan. Once upon a time, there was a little squeegee bug. No one knew where he came from. He wasn't an ant, he wasn't a cricket, and he certainly wasn't a flea. One day, the little squeegee bug was down by the brook watching the sunbeams play hopscotch on the water. Then, bzz, 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 a big bumblebee flew down from the sky. He made so much noise that the grass trembled and all the little bugs were frightened. But not the squeegee bug. He was not one bit afraid. Looking up at the bumblebee, he asked, "Who are you?" I'm Buzzer the Bumblebee. I carry a stinger in my tail. Oh, said the squeegee bug, I'd like to be a bumblebee and carry a stinger in my tail too. You could never be a bumblebee without silver wings like mine. Where can I get silver wings like yours? You'll have to climb to the sky, buzzed the bumblebee. To the sky, thought the little squeegee bug. Maybe I could climb to the sky. The little squeegee bug found the tallest cattail that grew by the brook. He looked up. The cattail seemed so high that he thought surely it touched the sky. He started climbing. For 3 days and 3 nights, the little bug climbed and climbed and climbed. Finally, he stopped to rest. He looked down, but he was up so high he couldn't see the ground. He closed his eyes and climbed faster and faster, until at last he came to the top of the cattail. Just then, a big black storm cloud came out of the west, and the lamp and the moon went out. Thunder crashed, lightning flashed, and the rain pelted down so hard that the little squeegee bug was afraid he'd be washed away, and he'd never find his silver wings. Now there lived in the Cattail Leaf an old caterpillar. His name was Creepy. He heard the little squeegee bug crying, so he crawled out of bed, lit his lantern, and peered up into the darkness. "What's the matter up there?" he called. "I'm a little squeegee bug. I'm trying to find the sky, but the sky is falling apart." "You must be a stranger," said the old caterpillar. "Anyone who lives on the cattail knows this is only a summer storm. Come with me, I'll take you home for tonight." So the little squeegee bug and the old caterpillar walked down the cattail leaf to the caterpillar's home. They went to bed and slept soundly until morning. As soon as the sun was up, they went out on the cattail leaf in search of the sky. The old caterpillar didn't know the way, but, he said, "I have a friend who can tell us. His name is Hanji the Spider. He lives in a castle of webs at the end of the cattail leaf." So they walked to the end of the cattail leaf to the castle of webs and knocked on the door. The door opened, and there stood a tiny little spider with more feet than he knew what to do with. "Good morning, Hanji the Spider," said the little squeegee bug. "Can you help me find the sky?" The spider asked, "Why do you want to go to the sky?" "Buzzer the Bumblebee said if I could climb to the sky, I could find some silver wings. Then I would be a bumblebee and carry a stinger on my tail." "I think Buzzer the Bumblebee was teasing you," said Hanji the Spider. "But come with me, I'll help you find your silver wings." They walked to the top of the cattail. Hanji the Spider pulled out his spinning wheel and started to spin silver threads to make a pair of silver wings. Then he shaped the silver wings into a pair of beautiful wings, the silver threads into a pair of beautiful wings. He lifted them carefully and placed them on the squeegee bug's back. The little bug was so excited that he flapped his wings. He was ready to fly away, but he stopped. "What's the matter?" called Hanji the Spider. "I don't have a stinger in my tail," said the little squeegee bug. "You weren't meant to have a stinger in your tail. You're not a bumblebee. You're just a little squeegee bug without a name, so I will give you a name." Hanji the Spider reached up into the sky and took the brightest star he could find. He hung that star in the squeegee bug's tail. "Here, little squeegee bug, here's a lantern to carry in your tail," said Hanji the Spider. "It's better than a stinger. Stingers hurt people, but with your light you can help people. You can light the way through the night for everyone in the world. You shall be called Squeegee the Firefly, the lamplighter of the sky. The squeegee bug was very happy. At last he had his silver wings, a lantern to carry in his tail, and best of all, a name. He thanked his friends for helping him and flew up, 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 past the sun and moon and stars. And wherever he went, his lantern shone brightly in the night sky. Have you ever seen a lightning bug? They're pretty cool. That was our last story. So now we tickle the clouds, we tickle our toes, we turn around, we touch our nose, we crouch down low, we reach up high. Story time's over. Wave goodbye. Goodbye.